Hi, everybody. It's Sarah Banta with Accelerated Health Products. And as many of you know already, that I've interviewed my son Jackson, who's in high school and has been forced to eat clean because of his health issues and fighting leukemia at the age of 9 and having some other health issues, but also being a devoted athlete who's working on gaining muscle quickly and reaching his peak athletic performance. So in other words, he has many motivating factors to keep him on track and to stay in ketosis, but also trying to gain weight and doing all of these things to get his maximum performance for this year, as nationals are coming up in June. But what happens when we're talking about a younger kid who does not have so many health issues and is not going to be an Olympic athlete? So I wanted to interview my daughter, Kiana. She's 12 years old and she's an athlete. She does well in school, but she's just wanting to be a kid and wanted to know what, in her words, her motivation is to eat right and take her vitamins. Of course, she has to do what I tell her to do, but then there's also a part of it where she's learned what makes her feel good, what makes her not feel good, and I just wanted to hear from her and let you know that kids can do the right thing. They don't need the kid menu at the restaurants. They don't need the gummies for vitamins. They actually can do the right thing and notice how they feel differently. And truly in my heart, I believe that kids want to learn and they don't understand what things affect their bodies in certain ways. And if you teach them, then they'll be motivated to do the right thing. So she's not perfect. I would say that she eats a low carb, high protein, and healthy fat diet mostly. She isn't as strict as Jackson, but she's pretty clean. And I'd say she eats keto 90% of the time. She definitely goes off the rails and has fun like most kids, because I don't want her to be too strict, but at the same time, I want her to be able to feel the difference between eating right and doing the right things versus not. So anyways, hi Kiana, how are you?
Good.
Good. Well, I wanted to ask you, what do you notice throughout the day when you eat a sugary breakfast?
When I have a sugary breakfast, like just waffles or pancakes alone and no eggs or sausage or bacon or like anything that's protein, I get headaches and then also my stomach hurts and I just don't feel at my best, and it just, I always just don't feel completely right.
Do you get hungrier at snack time at school, or?
Yeah. It doesn't fill me up as much as protein does. So when I have protein or anything better, like with protein or keto shake for breakfast, it always fills me up.
And you feel more energy? Yeah. And what supplements do you take easily without me reminding you? Because I know there's some things that I have to remind you to take, but what things are really easy for you to remember and you feel a difference in?
I always never have to forget to take my silver, iodine, oxalate, and restore, because when I have them in my room, I just can look at them and take them throughout the day. Because I have my silver 3 to 4 times a day, and when I don't take it, I always feel like I can get sick easier, and it just doesn't make me feel strong. And then restore, I always take it with meals like breakfast and dinner, because it helps my stomach not hurt after the meal. And then my iodine just gives me energy and also makes me feel good. And the oxalate definitely gives me energy, and then it tastes good too. So it's just like a drink that I can have.
Do you remember the days when you would come home from school and be just depressed and moody, and I would say, don't talk to me until you have an oxalate?
Yeah.
And then you'd feel better and you'd be your happy self again?
Yeah.
Yes, that was a definite one that always made a difference, especially after school. And Kiana sometimes used to forget to just drink water at school and would come home dehydrated and hungry, and that would always cure things right up. Do you wish that I would give you more chips and snack foods throughout the day or at lunchtime?
No, I don't, because I eat some, but not big amounts, just like a little bit, because it tastes good. But I know that it doesn't give me energy, and then having more protein like turkey and then a little bit of fruit and things like that, it always gives me enough energy to get through the school day and make me feel good and then ready to learn.
Yeah. And your brain feels good?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to eat before your practices for volleyball or swimming?
I always like to have like nuts or something small with protein or something, like hemp seeds, just to eat, because I know I need to eat to have energy for practice. But then if I eat the wrong things, then it won't be good.
And you get a stomachache?
Yeah.
What do you for sure never want to eat before practice?
Not like a whole apple or any sugary fruits really, or just chips and crackers and things like that, because that won't make me perform well when I am going to practices or anything.
And you also don't like to eat a full meal before, too close to practice.
Yeah, I don't eat too much before practice, just nuts or something that gives me enough protein, and things like avocados. Those are nice to have before practice.
Yeah. And what do you make sure you do the morning of a big test at school or a big race?
Before a volleyball tournament or a swim test or a math test at school, I always have my sausage for breakfast, and then before that I have a keto shake, an oxalate, and then I do my silver and restore and iodine and everything. And then together it all makes me feel great, and then I know that I'll be doing my best after having.
Awesome. And when you get to go to a birthday party and you don't have anything to worry about, like a test or a big game or anything, and there's pizza and cake, does it make you want to eat, like you take a bite of the cake and you're having the sugar that your body's not normally used to? Does it make you want to have like 3 pieces of cake, or does it make you realize, gosh, this is really sweet, I only need half a piece of cake?
It kind of makes me feel both, because it tastes really good, so I just want to eat the whole cake. And then after I get halfway done, all the sugar, it like goes straight to my stomach, and then I definitely feel a difference in my stomach. And I only have either a half or the whole piece, because it tastes good, but I just don't want to have too much.
But you don't end up having more than the 1 piece?
No.
So just because it's limited at home doesn't mean that you're going to go crazy when you're at other people's houses?
Yeah, because I know that it won't make me feel well after.
If there was one thing that you wanted to tell other kids out there, what would it be?
One thing that I would tell any other kid out there would be eating the right foods is easy. You just have to find the ones that taste good, and some of them don't make you feel good. So you just have to kind of experiment. And then once you find the right foods that are good for you and then taste good, and do everything together, it just makes you feel happier, and you're more positive, and then it just makes you feel amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experience, because sometimes people say, well, how can you get your kids to eat that way? I can't do that. It's fine if I can get my husband to eat that way and myself, but kids they just won't do it. And my belief is when you teach them what your body is doing in response to the sugar or the different supplements, they want to feel good. They want to learn in school. They don't want to have ADHD. They don't want to have struggles with their sports. And if you tell them, well, to get to that goal of being able to focus, to being able to not have anxiety or depression, or to perform better, I think they're going to be motivated to do the right thing. And I've had kids come up to me saying, oh my gosh, what can I do? I have this anxiety, but I love bread and pasta. What do I do? I had a girl that literally would carry candy around in her pockets all the time, and pasta, pasta, pasta. And she had major anxiety. And I saw her the other day and she goes, Sarah, I just want you to know I'm gluten-free. I'm gluten-free. And she was so excited to tell me, and she just wants to feel better. These kids just don't know any different. So they just need to learn, and you need to not just tell them you need to eat this versus that. You need to tell them why and explain why. And I'm happy to help in that category. I do have a kids kit that's available with the silver and the oxalate and restore. It's a great place to start, just to give them a basic level of health, and then to cut out the processed foods. That would be step one. Start incorporating a little more olive oil and coconut oil and eggs and avocado. Those are great places to start, especially with a breakfast that's high fat, high protein, low carb. That gives the kids a good foundation for the day. And then you just build on that. So any questions, please contact me, sarahbanta@gmail.com, or through the website. And thank you again, Kiana, for joining us today. And if you have any questions for Kiana, I'm happy to share them with you. If you want to email me, I will get her answers back to you. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us today. Leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and please be sure to check the description below for any additional information. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment or ask a question, as I'd love to answer as many of those as I possibly can. If there's a particular topic you'd like to hear more about, please share that in the comments below as well. Thanks again for joining us, and hope to see you again soon.